Hey students, in this video I'm going to review what focus and directrix is in parabolas and how to write equations given focus and directrix. So in class we took some notes. We talked about that focus is a point called uh, when it's in the parabola right here. It's pretty much the relationship of why it's called a focus is because the distance from any point in the parabola to the focus is the same distance from the parabola to the directrix. So what is the directrix? It is a line that is called a directrix, and it's always outside of the parabola. So right here in this image, you're going to notice the parabola, the vertex, the axis of symmetry cutting through it. The directrix is on the outside of the parabola, and then the focus is just that point in there. Now, there's a sweet little relationship happening here between focus, vertex, and directrix, where the distance away from focus to vertex is the same distance from vertex to directrix. So that's going to be referred to as the p-value. P is the distance between the focus and the vertex, and the distance between the vertex and the directrix. So you need that p-value in order to calculate the a value in the equation. So just a reminder of how the equation looks in vertex form. It's y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And in order to write an equation in this form, we need three different values replaced by a number, the a, h, and k. The vertex is giving you that h and k value, but the a value is calculated with this formula. So determine the a value using the formula 1 over 4 times p. And again, that p value is calculated from the distance from the focus to the vertex, or vertex to directrix. These are 4 different types of parabolas that you can have on the topic. Parabolas that open up, parabolas that open down, parabolas that open to the right, and parabolas that open to the left. Based on how they're opened, you're going to have an a value that's either going to be positive or negative. So when you look at the a value, besides calculating the value of 1 over 4p, you also need to look at the direction that is opened. When it's open up, your a value is positive. When it's open down, your a value is negative. When it's opening to the right, that's pointing towards the positive. So a value is positive. And when it's pointing to the left, the a value is negative. Another thing to remember here is that the equation, when it opens up and down, it's going to be the way we always know it, as h and k in that order. But then when we have it left and right, opening left and right, that h and k are going to switch. So y equals a, x minus k, parentheses square plus h. H and k switched. Again, that's when it's sideways, opening sideways. The directrix also changes in the up and down, open up and down. The directrix is a horizontal line, and in the opening left and right, the directrix is now a vertical line. So keep that in mind as we do a couple of examples. During class, I did the examples on the left side of this paper, but through this video, I'm going to explain the examples on the right side. Okay, so our goal is to write an equation of this parabola given the information that we have here. So here's a parabola opening sideways. So right away, we know that it's open sideways. So we're going to have the format or template of y equals a, x minus k squared plus h. So it's having the normal equation with h and k, switching the k and h values. From here, we want to substitute the a, K, and H value. And we're going to find the H and K value on the vertex. So if we look at the graph and analyze this, our vertex, the order pair for that vertex is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So -4 and 1, 2, +2. So then we're going to have H, K be represented right there. So we already have those two values. And now we need to calculate A. Besides calculating A, we got to tell if it's positive or negative. So because it's opening to the right, if you look at the left to right, this parabola is opening towards the right side. The A value will be a positive A value. And then the value will be 1/4 times P. P is a value we got to calculate. Again, according to our notes, P is the distance between the focus and the vertex, as well as the distance between the vertex and the directrix. So again, just looking at this image, vertex to focus or vertex to directrix. So here we have vertex to focus. That space is only 1, so that means the p-value is only 1. If we replace the p-value here of 1, we're going to have 1/4 times 1, which results in 1/4. That is the A value. And we already have it now. So we're done. Y equals positive 1/4 x minus K value. K value is from the vertex, so that's a 2 squared plus H. H is -4. So this is the equation for this graph right here. Next example, we're given the vertex of 2, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the directrix of y equals 0. Y equals 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just to double check, it's a y equals. So if you do Hoy-Bucks, horizontal for y equals, vertical for x equals, this tells you that you're going to have a horizontal line. So horizontal line at y equals 5. So this is the directrix, this is the vertex, so that means the graph has to open down. The directrix will always be on the outside of the parabola. And then this little space right here from the directrix to the vertex, that is your p-value. So we have a p-value of 1. We have a vertex at 2, 4. And the equation we're going to need is up and down, which is the normal formula. Y equals ax minus h squared plus k. But because it's opening down, we know that the a is going to be a negative value. So we calculate a by using 1/4 p. P value we said was 1. So that means it's 1/4 for the a value. And now we just put it together. This is your h, this is your k. Y equals negative 1/4 x minus your h, which is 2, plus k. And that's your equation right there. Okay, let's try another one. We have the directrix given, which is a y equals 1. So that's a Hoy-Bucks. Y equals, x equals, y equals is Hoy. So that just means we have a horizontal line at y equals 1. And then we have a focus at 2 and 3.5. 3.5 is 3 divided by 2, which just means 1.5. So this is the same thing as saying 2 comma 1.5. 2 to the right, 1.5 right there. And that's your focus. Okay. So then now we need to realize what we have here in front of us. We pretty much have a line and a focus. So we need to remember that in between these two, there is a vertex. So I know it's super tiny in the sketch, but as far as values go, the y value for the directrix is 1, as you notice right here. The focus has a y value of 1.5. So think of the y-axis, and this is at 1, this is 1.5. So the vertex has to be at 1.25, which is in between these two values. Think of money. It's $1, $1.50. So in between you have $1.25. So knowing that our vertex is going to have an x, y ordered pair, and the 1.25 is the y value. The x value comes from knowing that the focus and vertex are aligned. So in there, we're going to have the vertex. It's going to be opening the up. And the vertex is going to have the same x value as the focus. So that's 2 and 1.25 as your y. These two are aligned. So if this is 2, 1.5, this is going to be a 2, 1.25. All right, that was interesting. So that's your h, that's your k. So using this h value and this k value, we're now going to use our formula. Opening up, so to y equals a, x minus h squared plus k. Our a value is calculated with 1 over 4p. P value is calculated the distance in between the vertex and the focus, and the vertex and the directrix. So definitely from the vertex to the focus, that's only 0.25 in value. So we're going to put a equals 1 over 4 times 0.25. And then when you multiply 4 times 0.25, it's actually a 1. So 1 divided by 1 is 1. So the a value is a 1. So if the a value is 1, we don't need to put anything for a. So we just end up with y and then parentheses x minus your h value, which is 2, plus 1.25. And that's the equation for that. All right, last example together. So this graph is going to open left. Is going to have a focus at 1, -2. And it's going to have a distance from vertex to focus of 2. So that's the p-value. So if it opens left, the focus has to be on the inside, the vertex has to be on this side, and it has a p-value of 2, so we're going to go 2 spaces to the right, and here's your vertex. And because it opens sideways, we're going to have the switch h and k. So a x minus k squared plus h. And then we have the a value calculated. p-value is 2, as mentioned right here. So that's 1 over 4 times 2, which is 1 over 8. So that's the a value. This graph is opening left, which means the a value is going to be negative. So we're going to have y equals negative 1 over 8 x minus your k value. So our vertex, let's write it down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 is going to be positive 3, negative 2. That's your h, that's your k. So it's x minus k. K is negative 2, so we're going to have a positive 2. Because x minus negative 2 ends up being a positive 2. Squared plus h. H is 3. And this is the equation for that parabola. All right, I hope this video helps with the practice, but again, the only way you can get it is by practicing yourself. So let me know if you need extra problems.